Hello, welcome to BioGrades TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. History of Liberia. Liberia is a country in West Africa. It is bordered by Ivory Coast to its east, Sierra Leone to its northwest, and the Atlantic Ocean to its south-southwest. Monrovia is the country's largest city and capital. Its population is approximately 5 million, and English is its official language, while over 20 indigenous languages are spoken. Liberians also speak several creolized dialects, which are collectively known as Liberian English. The population of Liberia comprises 16 indigenous ethnic groups and a number of foreign minorities. Some of the indigenous ethnic groups include the Pele, Bassa, Manu, Gyo or Dan, Kru, and Mandinka. Others are Grebo, Kran, Vai, Americo-Liberians, and many more. The Pele is the largest ethnic group, making about 20% of the population. According to the national census conducted in 2008, 85.5% of Liberia's population are Christian, while 12.2% are Muslims. About 0.5% hold on to traditional indigenous religions, while 0.4% do not subscribe to any religion. Between 1461 and the late 17th century, the Portuguese and the Dutch had already begun trading with the locals who dwelled in the region now known as Liberia. The Portuguese called the area Costa da Pimenta, that is, Pepper Coast, because of the abundance of pepper there, but the name was later changed to the Grain Coast. In 1822, an organization in the United States, the American Colonization Society, ACS, began sending black volunteers from America to Liberia to establish a colony for freed blacks. They believed that free blacks would face better chances for freedom and prosperity in the African homeland. A total of 4,571 emigrants arrived in Liberia from the United States between 1820 and 1843. However, only 1,819 of them survived, the rest dying from tropical diseases. By 1867, the ACS had helped in the migration of more than 13,000 black volunteers to Liberia. These free African Americans and their descendants formed the Americo-Liberian ethnic group. The Americo-Liberian settlers did not have cordial relationships with the indigenous people they encountered, neither did they seek to. So, encounters with tribal Africans often turned out to be violent confrontations. Some of these indigenous peoples were the Kru and the Grebo people. On the 26th of July, 1847, Liberia declared its independence from the U.S., though the latter did not recognize Liberia's independence until February 5, 1862. Liberia became the first African state to be independent and came under no European power during the scramble for Africa. On the 3rd of January 1848, Joseph Jenkins Roberts, a wealthy, free-born African-American, was elected Liberia's first president. The settlers came with their American culture and tradition. The country's flag and constitution were patterned after those of the U.S. Liberia was one of the founding members of the League of Nations, United Nations, and the Organization of African Unity. From its creation, political power in Liberia remained with the Americo-Liberians, who formed the elite ethnic group. The indigenous groups, who were the majority, did not have any serious political influence, but that changed in 1980 when on the 12th of April that year, Master Sergeant Samuel Doe of the Kran ethnic group led a military coup which led to the overthrow and death of President William R. Tolbert Jr. A majority of Tolbert's cabinet members were also executed. In November 1985, a counter-coup against Doe was attempted by Thomas Kuiwompa. When the coup failed, Doe retaliated by executing members of the Mano and Gio ethnic groups in the Nimba County. In 1989, Liberia entered a civil war after Charles Taylor, with the backing of Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso, began an armed rebellion with his National Patriotic Front of Liberia (NPFL). In September 1990, the rebels captured Doe and had him executed, and Taylor assumed leadership of Liberia. The civil crisis continued, with different factions of the rebel groups fighting each other. More than 60,000 people lost their lives by 1997. In 1999, a second civil war started. Liberia became isolated by the international communities when it started using its diamond sales to fund the war. In August 2003, Taylor, under serious international and domestic pressure, resigned and went on exile in Nigeria. A peace deal was signed later that month and an interim government was installed. In 2005, elections were held and the first female president in Africa, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was elected in an election that was considered free and fair by international observers. In 2017, former professional football striker George Weah won the presidential elections and was sworn in as president on the 22nd of January 2018. His inauguration marked the first fully democratic transition in the last 74 years in Liberia. Weah became the fourth youngest serving president in Africa. Liberia consists of 15 counties, which in turn are split into 90 districts. The districts are further subdivided into clans. The oldest counties are Grand Bassa and Montserrado, which were founded in 1839. In the past, Guinea and Sierra Leone, which are both Liberia's neighbors, accused the country of backing rebels in their countries. But after the First and Second Liberian Civil Wars, as stability returned to the country, so did cordial relations with its neighbors and the rest of the Western world. Like in most parts of Africa, China has been an important partner in the nation's post-conflict reconstruction efforts. Liberia is one of the world's poorest countries, no thanks to the ravages of the civil wars. Its GDP per capita in 1980 was $496, comparable to that of Egypt at the time. However, in 2011, the country's nominal GDP per capita was $297, the third lowest in the world. Historically, the Liberian economy has relied greatly on foreign aid, foreign direct investment, and exports of natural resources such as iron ore, rubber, and timber. Agriculture is a very important sector of the country's economy. It accounts for 38.8% of the GDP and employs over 70% of the population. The major crops grown include rubber, cassava, rice, bananas, and oil palm. Timber is also a prominent export, amassing about $100 million annually. It is also worth noting that Liberia has the second largest maritime registry in the world, behind Panama. Without any doubt, football is the most popular sport in the country. As President George Weah is himself a football legend, he is the first African to be named FIFA World Player of the Year. The nation's national team has reached the Africa Cup of Nations finals twice, in 1996 and 2002. Basketball qualifies as the second most popular sport in the country. the Liberian national basketball team has gotten to the AfroBasket tournament twice in 1983 and 2007. Some of the tourist attractions in Liberia include Mount Nimba, which is the tallest peak in the country, with over 1,300 meters above sea level. Others are Monkey Island, Sapo National Park in Zwedru, and the National Museum in Monrovia. What have we missed out of this history? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel.